Yes, I did send, I think I've sent 4 letters in now. But yes, I am very concerned about parental rights because they are already on the books that we have parental rights. So just making sure that we have them across the board and fully. And there are some concerns that are included with the parental rights, because part of parental rights is speaking for our children and what we do or do not want to see happen in schools with our children. And at the time of the writing of my letters, I did have my granddaughter. So I was a guardian of my granddaughter, sending her to the Mountain View School Division. But she has since gone back to her mom. So now I'm a concerned citizen, but I'm still a parent, grandparent, concerned citizen. So I wrote up what I would like to say. And first of all, I want to say I so appreciate the work that you do. I appreciate the teachers and the principals. After being at the meeting on the 9th, it raises your level of the tremendous amount of differences within the student body, the amount of cogs in the wheels that you have to, hoops you have to jump through, and just the many, many moving parts. And so I'll just read what I have here. And then if you have questions or you want to ask me anything, feel free. So, parental rights. I am thankful to find that there are no SOGI 123 or Planned Parenthood ABC materials in the school division. I was very glad to hear that. The parents, we are concerned to see that there are LGBTQ materials in some of the schools, and we believe they need to be removed. We will give reasons for. Also, we are concerned about pronouns from children for the purpose of degendering them be stopped and no longer used. We need to teach our children proper English. Calling a child they, which is plural, is incorrect English. 3 is the normalizing of the term mature minor. I will address the dangers of the term mature minor and ask that it be written on the Mountain View School Division regulations that there be no child pre-K to grade 12 that can be deemed a mature minor by any staff within Mountain View School Division or by any outside personnel, including but not limited to medical staff. I do realize that there are 18-year-olds, 16, 18, 17, 18-year-olds that are living on their own. But still, I will give reasons why something needs to be done about that. No person, I better back up here and go to the mature minor. Mature minors, they're actually using it in BC as a term, which they're taking it. So already it's within the medical society to have mature minor for grade 6, 8, and 9. To deem them a mature minor that they can make a decision to have a vaccine or at this point a vaccine. But in BC, what they're doing is they're using that same term to groom children to say, oh, you said yes to what we said. And so they are grooming them using the term mature minor so pedophiles can have their way with children. So we need to get rid of this in Mountain View School Division and say that there are no mature minors within our school division and set a precedence, not only for Mountain View School Division, but in Manitoba, but for Canada. Because we need to partner with our neighbors, Saskatchewan and Alberta and New Brunswick in this area. Because it is very concerning. Because it used to be that no was no. When you said no, it meant no. Tell somebody that what is happening to you, whatever abuse or sexual abuse is happening to you, and go to somebody and your no means no and tell somebody until they listen to you. Well, now it's let your yes be yes. So they've twisted it around so that yes gives them permission to actually seriously abuse these children. And it is already happening in BC. And we do not want that happening here. So if we eliminate the teachings of the LGBTQT as we have eliminated all other indoctrinations, then we will not have to concern ourselves with children being given gene therapy altering drugs that some may say to keep secret from the parents, as has happened with birth control pills. And I was going to have a young lady here tonight, but she couldn't come. She's 19. She just graduated out of the system, out of DRBC. Anyways, because she was telling how at 13, she was given birth control pills, told not to tell her mom and dad, took them, and now she is going to the doctor. She's having serious menstrual issues and all kinds of issues because her parents were not informed or involved in the process. I have no idea who did it, but this was her story. So then there will be no need to have so if we eliminate this teachings from the school, I don't think we need to have a locked bathroom just for LGBTQ children, because I think what's happened is we have, because of the LGBTQ material and people teaching it, it has raised the level of awareness of them, and I think it's caused more danger for them, because it's like, if you want to compare right now, the war with Hamas and Israel has been raised, and it's more danger to the Israeli people. The Jews are under great danger now because the awareness has been ruined. And my concern is the same thing has happened to these children. So in the intent to keep them safe, we have actually harmed them by putting them front and center. And that is a danger. So I believe safety and respect can be taught without these indoctrinating materials. Safety and respect in schools comes by, for instance, I would not tell an Indigenous boy to cut off his ponytail, but I would respect his beliefs. And before, I had no idea what that meant until I moved to Dauphin. Now I do know that their hair has value to them, why they have a ponytail. A Catholic girl, I would not tell her not to wear a cross. A Jewish girl, I would not tell her not to wear this Star of David. I would not tell a Muslim to not wear her hijab. I would not tell a Ukrainian child to wear blue and yellow to support her country. I would not tell a Goth child not to come dressed in black. Or would I tell a girl dressing like a boy not to, or vice versa? So we need to use the time spent on indoctrinating, that we would normally spend on indoctrinating children more wisely with reading and math skills, that also do not have hints of gender dysphoria within the writings. And that's another thing this young woman was going to talk about, was how there were subtle hints of LGBTQ and even pronouns within the sentencing of math questions. Instead of saying she went to the store, they went to the store, but talking about a single girl in the question. So she was quite aware of this, and she was like, why is it saying that? Because that they is not even the right word to be using there. So I'm really sad she wasn't able to come. Because out of BC, it's possibly coming, and we need to stop it. We need to draw a line in the sand right now. Teachers in all provinces will be required to go to classes to learn how to integrate SOGI and sexualization ideologies into the classroom. This is already in BC. It will no longer be called a separate sex ed or health class. It will be integrated into every subject: English, math, social studies, physical ed, etc. There will be no parental permissions to opt out of a certain class. Comprehensive sexuality education is what it is called, is what they're trying to bring down the pipe. It will no longer be called SOGI, because now SOGI has a very bad reputation. So we need to be people who stop this comprehensive sexuality education, because I know teachers right now and principals that are huge. I've had teachers come to me in tears. They are so upset by the materials that are being presented and that they're being pushed into. And the only thing I can do is speak up here and beg you to please have mercy on the teachers and on the principals and on the children, not to have this sex education material brought into our school division. And say no to the term mature minor. Right now, the healthcare system can come out at any time saying that they will get parental permission to vaccinate children grades 6, 8, and 9. They also can question children to determine if these children understand why they are getting the vaccination, and if children say yes, they can determine these children to be mature minors. They are 11 to 16-year-olds. The crossover for this term, adults identifying as minor attracted adults, being able to question children of any age and determining that they are mature minors, so said people can indulge in sexual activities with these children. So also, I'm not going to say I'm going to say we, because there are everybody that I've talked to that I'm representing this delegation for, does not want to have vaccinations given in schools. For one thing, there is not an adult in this room, there's not a child in the school division, there's not any adult that can make an informed decision about vaccines at this time, because you cannot get an ingredient listing of what's in a vaccine. So it is really, and until you can get that ingredient listing and tell whether they are safe or not to these children, it's not safe to have. And there's lots of opportunity outside of school. So my bottom lines, or our bottom lines are, I take my children to church to learn about God. We do not send our children to school to learn about or be indoctrinated in LGBTQ+ or incorrect pronouns. We need our parental guardian rights that are already legislated by the government as being fully intact and upheld by Mountain View School Divisions. And I know there's a lot of moving parts in there. As I say this, there are parents who don't care. There are parents who overcare. There are kids living on their own. And I understand some of the logistics of this will be difficult, but we really need to have those parental rights intact for those who really are respecting that they want them. I am so glad to hear that parents are contacted before a child receives counseling. That made me really happy to hear that. We want all LGBTQ+ plus material removed from all schools in Mountain View School Division, and anyone wishing to know more about it, that they have an after-school program for anybody with parental permission that they want to sign up, just like Christians would have an after-school Bible study that parents would have to get permission to get it, or an after-school crochet class or something. You know, so, but because there's lots of opportunities to. Yes. I have 2 paragraphs.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
We want Mountain View School Division to declare we have no mature minors in the schools, and all drugs and vaccines offered by outside medical personnel be stopped, and principals be given directive to refuse them entry for vaccination purposes. There are many opportunities around Dauphin for parents to take their children for vaccinations. I believe also with the last statement, mature minors, police do not allow anybody to quiz a child without a parent or guardian present, because they're too easily coerced, manipulated, and intimidated.
So I'd like to thank you very much for the presentation. Thanks. It's a great.
Do you have questions, or do you just leave it that way?
Well, any questions for Ms. Finberg?
I guess I thank you for coming. I appreciate what you've said. I've been contacted by a number of people regarding the same issues, and I'm not sure if you're aware, but so right now we are having discussions about possibly coming up with a policy or implementing a policy, or again, there's a wide view of opinions on this. I have brought it forward representing people such as yourselves that have contacted me. And again, it is in the works that I guess I'm hoping we're being proactive. But again, we're still discussing it and seeing where we can go with this.
Well, I appreciate that the last meeting I was able to attend, I did hear that you had brought up that topic and you were looking at how can we have parental rights. So I appreciate that. That's a good thing. Thank you.
Ms. Gulak?
Yeah.
Mr. Gulak.
Thank you for your presentation. The description of indoctrination, though, is a very strong one. And what you're suggesting is that there's some misleading of education that may be happening. And it's important to note that the entire curriculum content is available to general public, to parents, like online, or upon request through conversation with our education system, and promoting dialogue with teachers first and foremost, between parents or legal guardians is really integral. And I know you appreciate that. Like, we had great conversation during our community consultation on just the ways in which we can build community within our schools. And it's so important to do that, whether it be through volunteering in literacy initiatives, or supporting after school or community-based programming that's linked
Trustee
to.
Goulart, is the question you're asking for clarification? I think when a presenter presents to us, we can ask questions for clarification. That is the type of question we should be asking.
Okay.
If you want to clarify something, then you're going to ask Ms. Ingrid question. Do you want her to clarify anything for you?
I
appreciate that material is there. I have checked into some of the material. Not all of it. I have word of mouth from students, grade 12, and the same woman who graduated who let me know some of the wording in the school material. And that gave me concern because I'm glad that it's very minor here right now. It's very minor. And I appreciate that. But I just know what trying to come down the pipe. And this is why I'm here, to say we need to draw a line and protect our children from these indoctrinations. What people do at home, I have no say. I don't want any say. But when I take my granddaughter to school, when other parents take their children to school, at least the ones that have spoken to me, they don't want it.
So the reference to the educators that you identified that connected with you, have you encouraged them to connect back to school administration, senior administration, if they have issues with delivery of the curriculum?
Actually, I did have one teacher and I asked her that and she was sitting afraid. She says, I am afraid to speak to anyone about it because when there were vaccinations and there were forced vaccinations or forced swabbing, or you lost your job or you lost your position within the Mountain View School Division. She says, I'm terrified to speak up for fear that they come after me and I lose my job. That's what she told me. And it was at Manitoba Stronger Together. There was a group of us and I get 2 other people with me who heard her say it.
Thank you very much, Lori. Any more questions? Thank you very much.
Oh, I do have a petition to hand in. I'd had more signatures, but I had injuries. But there's 47 on here and I think the minimum is 25. So here is a petition. Thank you very much for your time here. And I just want to say, I do appreciate your work. It's not easy. A lot of moving parts.
Thank you. Next, we have Ms. Brody and Ms. Hurston for the